Hello, everybody. Welcome to Marion County Espresso TV on location. We're at the Knoxville Hospital and Clinics, the Weiler Foundation Specialty Clinics, and the Donna Margaret Long Infusion Center, which are the newest additions to the hospital thanks to those organizations' generous donations and hard work over the past couple of years. And so you just recently opened this week as we're recording this, right?
Yes, absolutely. So we broke ground on this last March, and we've had some fantastic weather. So we've been able to open, like you said, we opened the specialty clinic on Monday, and then we opened the infusion center on Wednesday.
And I neglected to introduce Katrina Nelson, the what's your title with the
Public Relations Coordinator.
Public Relations Coordinator.
Yes.
I've known Katrina a long time, so yeah.
Yes. We've worked together many years.
Yes, we have. So
yes.
So yeah, if you just kind of want to show us around, what the highlights are of the facilities here and what more services we can offer here at Knoxville Hospital.
Yeah, absolutely. So you will see that we are in the specialty clinics waiting area. And so it's a brand new waiting area that is connected or joins up with the Dr. Earl J. McKeever Medical Clinic. And so it's a joint waiting area for both of the patients that are coming in for family medicine and for the specialty clinic. So it's a nice, easy flow for the patients, and it's really convenient too for the working relationship between the specialist and the family medicine providers.
And so what have it's been open a few days now, so what kind of reactions have you heard from patients so far?
They think it's beautiful. They love all of the surroundings, and the specialists have really enjoyed, the specialists that have been here this week have really been happy with the amount of space that they have, and so we'll show you a little bit more of that too as we start to do more of the tour.
Of course, bigger patient rooms, more privacy and so forth. And obviously the infusion center for those largely cancer patients.
Right.
It's just been a huge improvement. So, but we're going to get there. So
yes, we will.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and get started.
All righty. Sounds good. Now, see, this looks bigger than your average exam room. Is it, or is it just?
It's about the same size as what our clinic exam rooms are, but anymore you take more individuals to appointments with you. You have your family members and things like that. So it's larger. It's nice to have a larger exam room to accommodate that so that the specialist feels like they have room to work, but that the family is also there to hear what's going on with the patient.
And you talk about the specialists that come here. In the past several years, Knoxville has just been increasing the number of specialists coming here to offer services. Do you have a number of how many different types of specialties are coming?
We have over 20 different specialists that come here on a monthly basis. Some of them are weekly, some of them are monthly, some of them are every other week. It's just, and they just keep growing and growing. It's really nice for the community to have these specialists that come here on a weekly or a monthly basis, so that they don't have to go far, for their appointments. So we're very fortunate to be able to provide that for our community.
Absolutely. So what are the, other than the size, are there any other highlights in here?
No, not really. It's just an exam room. We'll have more of the bells and whistles when we get to the infusion center.
All righty.
Yeah. So I thought that we would kind of go on around. So when a patient comes, let's go ahead and turn the lights on. So this is the specialty, this is where the schedulers sit. So after your appointment and you need to schedule a follow-up appointment, or if you need to check in, this is where the ladies will be sitting, and they will be able to help you with all of your needs like that. And as we go on down the hallway here, when we get down here at the end,
so how many exam rooms are in this hallway now?
I believe that there's 48. There's 48 in in the clinic.
Okay.
And then so this is where all of the specialists will sit. So they bring, in addition to the specialist that does their their notes and things like that, they also bring support staff with them. And so each one of these like different kind of cubicle areas is where the specialists and their support staff will sit.
And I notice there seems to be a good distance between the monitors to keep up the privacy.
Right. And no patients will be back this far. This is just the specialty area. You know, once they're done with their appointment, they'll go back out toward the specialing office and the waiting area. But it's just kind of nice to have this space where they can spread out, do their work. And then it's also, you know, a nice place too for like if our providers need to come over and visit with them, they can feel comfortable coming to a space like that to do that.
Is this connected to the infusion center at the end of the hall?
It is, yes. So as we continue down this hallway, so there's 3 different hallways that have different exam rooms in them, and the way that it's set up is that they have a schedule, you know, like there's maybe going to be a certain provider down this hallway and then a certain provider down the first hallway. So it's just kind of nice to keep it spread out and so that they're not on top of each other, which is really nice.
I know there's a big push for natural light too. Is that why there's so many windows?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we have different work areas here. So that's where our specialists and their staff sit. And then this is where our specialty staff have their workspace. So we have we have this office, and then we have a couple of other offices down here as well. Okay, so now we enter the infusion center area. So I'll go ahead and have you come on down to this one other room. So we have 2 of these larger infusion rooms that are for like if somebody is here for a longer infusion and maybe needs to lay down, or if they need to have some isolation based on what they're here for their infusion for. So we have, like I said, 2 of these larger rooms for stuff like that. And you will see that the infusion center is located on the southeast side of the hospital. It overlooks the Bessie's Floor Butterfly Garden, which is going to be really nice for our patients, you know, in the spring, summer, fall time when the garden is really beautiful and in bloom, for them to be able to have that view.
Just a reminder, is the garden here along where the dirt currently is, or is it out past further by the gazebo?
The garden is back out further. And it's my understanding that the garden club right now is working on a water feature that they're going to be adding to the garden in the near future. So that'll just be another extra nice thing for our patients to have.
So what will be along here? It looks like it's marked off for.
I think that it probably has something to do with the garden, with the water feature. They also might be, you know, just waiting to seed down the grass in the springtime too. Yeah. Okay, so now we're in the Donna Margaret Long Infusion Center. And we have 12 infusion bays that have power recliners. They have TVs with the headphones. The lights can be dimmable so that, you know, if you don't want the bright lights, you can dim them.
Yeah.
And you also might pick up a little bit of the noise above. So this is kind of what you call white noise. And so, you know, if you don't want to hear anything, you can turn your white noise up, you know, and you can run that according to what your wishes might be. The power recliners, they also have, you know, different paddings and things like that to help a person get comfortable because they might be here for a longer length of time.
Hours-long process.
Yes.
Most of them, yeah.
Right, exactly. And then, we also have the chair too for the family member or the support person that's here with the patient. So when we started designing the look and the layout of the infusion center, we got together with, we put together a patient advisory council, which is made up of patients and family members, and just kind of got their take on what they would like to see, because some of the architects and the designers, they hadn't been through that. They didn't know, what exactly needed to be in the infusion center. And one of the things that you would think about when you're going through chemo is that you maybe wanted it private.
Yeah.
And one thing that they said is, no, we want to be able to support the person next to us, or just talk to them, and talk about the journeys as you're going through it. But you also want the option of having privacy.
Yeah.
And so if I squeeze in behind you, you'll see how these doors can just go shut. So, you can have the privacy if you desire, or you can have it open and you can visit with the person next to you. So, and I think if you want to get a shot, you'll see how so we have 10 of the rooms that look out onto the butterfly garden. And then we have 2 rooms that are at the back here. So, of course, we don't want to have to see you.
You're right.
But if you do need to receive treatment here, we have a beautiful state-of-the-art center.
Absolutely, and you mentioned, which my print audience knows, how much thought and work went into the planning of this. Do you have anything more you want to add about that, about how much input was brought in from the community as well as the patients and everything into what this place is?
I mean, yeah, the Patient Advisory Council was very beneficial. They came up with things that, we hadn't thought about, and vice versa. We would take something to them thinking that it was maybe important, and they said, no, that isn't really something that, we think that we need, So it was very beneficial to have that input and to being able to create just exactly what those patients and their family members want to see.
And I like the glass that you picked there. Does that have any kind of meaning, or is that just kind of?
I don't think so. I think that it's just kind of a nice look. I don't think that it had any kind of nothing special to it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It looks kind of like it's got some kind of medical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be.
Could be. I don't know. I'm not an architect.
No. Me neither. And then, we also too have the bathrooms and the nourishment station too for anybody that.
And this the Fusion Center officially opened Monday?
Wednesday. It opened on Wednesday, yeah. So it was kind of ahead of schedule. We had planned on opening it next Monday, and the move went so great that we were able to open it a little bit early.
So how long did the move take?
The move took, well, because they were still seeing patients while it was going on, so they would move like some computers and some things like that. I think they started doing that last week, and then they finished moving the big stuff then on Monday and Tuesday, and then opened ready to see some patients on Wednesday.
Excellent. Like, I'm sure there will be a lot of positive feedback from families and patients.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful state-of-the-art center that we're so blessed to be able to provide for our community. And thank you to the generosity of Don and Margaret Long. Without their $1.4 million to build this center, it might not have been possible.
Absolutely. And so, of course, for those unfamiliar, Knoxville Hospital has been making a lot of upgrades. We were touching on those on our way back here. Just improving the facility because the original building dates back to the early 80s.
Right.
Obviously, medicine's changed a lot since then.
Right, exactly. Yeah, the building was built in 1981, or that's when we opened, is in 1981. And, we had made a few improvements here and there throughout the years. Our first major construction project happened in 2014 when we added the family medicine clinic, the physical therapy gym, as well as remodeled and enlarged all of our med-surg rooms, and then did some renovations to the ER. And then now this $21 million project that phase one has been completed. Yep. Phase one was the infusion center and the specialty clinics. And now phase two will begin with the renovations and expansion of the ER.
And we don't want to conclude about the infusion here, about the infusion center, but when is the ER project expected to begin?
So first of all, we have to move the lab. And so we have constructed a brand new laboratory, and it is supposed to open next week. So once they get the lab moved and that space vacated and prepped, then construction will begin on the emergency department. And last I heard, it was expected to be completed by next March. So,
and of course,
that'll be exciting.
Yeah, the benefit of this is that, we're lucky to have this in Knoxville and serving all of Marion County and beyond. Can you kind of describe that, about what you've heard from patients that come into Knoxville to get treatment here?
It's been phenomenal, the amount of support that we've gotten from our patients. They see the investment that we're putting into their care, and it's just been great. And it's also great for our staff.
Yeah.
Our staff sees the investment that our administration is putting into their workspace. And so it's really a win-win for everybody. So when patients come for their infusion therapy, we have a private entrance. That's one thing that the patients really enjoyed about the other entrance, or the other infusion center, is that being able to have their private entrance so that they didn't have to walk through the hospital and check in through the hospital with the germs and things like that. So we have a private entrance for all of the infusion patients, and it's located right across from the nurses' station. So we have a great EVS crew, or environmental services crew, who does an exceptional job, not only keeping our facility very clean, but also making sure that it's sanitized and making sure that the germs are at bay for those individuals that are seen in our facility.
And so typically what hours will the infusion center operate?
So the infusion center operates from 7 to 4:30, and then additional hours they're willing to accommodate. If your schedule doesn't allow for those hours, they will make some adjustments to make sure that you get the infusion that you need.
So do the hospital add some staff to fulfill those hours and
No.
put extra rooms?
Nope. We still have been able to maintain the same amount of staffing that we had, but if additional staffing needs to be in the future, we'll definitely take that into consideration.
Oh yeah, you always review and figure it out.
Right, exactly.
Are there any other highlights you'd like to show us today from the...
I was going to show you the urgent care.
Well, let's check out the urgent.
So another part of the construction was the urgent care.
Right.
And so our new urgent care has 3 exam rooms, and then it also has some provider workspace, like the other areas that you've seen today. And so one of the things that we discovered in the COVID process is that it would be really nice to have their own entrance to urgent care, so that if somebody comes presenting with some infectious symptoms, they can come directly into the urgent care entrance and not expose anybody further into the hospital. So that was one of the things that we were able to learn through the COVID process. And so we have a separate entrance for the urgent care center.
So what is the difference between the emergency room and urgent care? What's the difference?
So urgent care is more for acute illnesses, such as flu and cold symptoms, gastrointestinal issues, insect bites, rashes, pink eye, those types of things, where the emergency room is more for the larger cases, right, or the traumas, chest pains, broken bones, car accidents. And so it's really nice that we're able to have the urgent care, you know, to accommodate those patients that they maybe need to get in to see their provider, but they can't get in to see their provider because their schedule is booked. So by able to call in and get an urgent care appointment is really convenient for our patients. So our urgent care is staffed Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. They start accepting appointments at 6:30 in the morning, and then it's also staffed on Saturday from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., and they start seeing scheduling appointments at 7:30 on Saturday mornings.
So, has the need for urgent care grown or been about the same?
It's been about the same. We have seen that we have quite a few patients that come to the urgent care, you know, just because it's more convenient. You know, you can call up in the morning and pretty much get in to see somebody that day, where you might not be able to do that with your primary care providers. You might have to wait a few days or a week or longer, you know, so it's nice to have that other option to offer our patients.
Absolutely. And the exam room looks similar to the specialty care clinic.
Yes.
But I didn't notice that in the in the specialty care room.
No, and I think that this is more just kind of along the lines of stuff that you would see in a family practice doc. You know, your ears and being able to have those types of things checked that your specialist might not be checking. So yeah, there's maybe a few changes between the exam rooms. I think that this exam room probably mirrors more of the exam rooms that you would find on the family practice side, more so than what you would find on the specialty side. But as you can see, it's a large space for the family members and the support to come, as well as the provider and their scribe to be able to take the notes too of the visit.
Mm-hmm. Overall, just what does the hospital think about this finished product for the specialty clinic, the infusion center, and the urgent care clinic? I mean, you guys got to be proud of it. I'm looking at it. And what's the hospital's thoughts? Are you?
Absolutely, we are so proud of this. We are so fortunate to be able to provide this service to our patients, to the Knoxville community, and you know, to provide a beautiful setting for the patients to receive care in, and for our staff to provide that care in. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we are very blessed.
Absolutely. Well, is there anything more you'd like to be sure to mention today during our show?
I don't believe so. Thank you so much for coming out and for showcasing our beautiful additions. And we'll have to have you come out when we have the ER done, so you can do a video on that.
Thank you for having us today, Katrina, and thank you all for joining us.
Yeah, thank you very much, Steve.